If you've been collecting watches for a while, you probably already made up your mind about Shinola. Maybe you think of them as a lifestyle brand, or maybe you assume they're more about marketing than watchmaking. But here's the truth: the Shinola Mechanic is a good watch, a surprisingly good watch. This Shinola Mechanic with the steel blue dial takes a different approach than most watches in its category. It's not focused on overbuilt specs or complicated features. Instead, it leans into thoughtful design, everyday usability, and a strong connection to how and where it is made. It offers a distinctive aesthetic, a dependable Swiss movement, and a level of American assembly and craftsmanship that is rare at this price. And that's what makes this watch interesting. And before I get into the rest of the review, I just want to thank Shinola for sponsoring this video. Underneath the branding, the stores, and the lifestyle presentation, Shinola has built a legitimate domestic operation. The Argonaut building in Detroit houses not only the company headquarters, but a functioning watch assembly studio. Real technicians, real equipment. Watches are cased, timed, pressure tested, and quality controlled in that facility. They aren't just assembling a few pieces and calling it built in Detroit. They are doing the work. And the Shinola Mechanic in steel blue is more than just a new watch from a familiar brand. It's one of the most encouraging signs I've seen in a long time for US watchmaking. At a time when most watches under $2,000 are fully produced overseas, Shinola is doing something different. They're running a real watch assembly operation in Detroit. Not a design studio, not a marketing office, but a functioning production floor inside the historic Argonaut building, staffed by trained technicians and supported by real infrastructure. They also produce their leather straps in-house using American-sourced hides. It's rare and it's difficult, but they are doing it. And the Mechanic is the most complete expression of that effort so far. It's a hand-wound mechanical watch with solid specs, original design, and a clear identity. More importantly, it represents what's possible when a company invests in American manufacturing as part of its product, not just part of its story. Let's start with the dial. The steel blue color is subtle. In person, it comes off as a matte gray blue. It's not flashy and not overly saturated. It works well with everything from casual wear to business attire. The texture is soft with a slightly grainy finish under certain lighting. It adds interest without being distracting. The dial has a shallow dome that mirrors the curve of the sapphire crystal. The numerals are styled after traditional sign painting, which is where the Mechanic name comes from. It's actually not a reference to Detroit's auto industry. It refers to the sign painters who laid out letters by hand with precision and consistency. The outlines and shading give the numbers a distinct look while keeping everything easy to read. And the hands are curved to match the shape of the dial. They're white, filled with light cream-colored superluminova and sized well. The second hand is polished and minimal. There is no date window, no power reserve indicator, and no excess branding. Just Shinola Detroit at the top and Mechanic at the bottom. From a design perspective, this watch is cohesive and confident. It doesn't borrow too heavily from vintage pieces and doesn't feel derivative. It's a modern field-style watch with a clear point of view. The case is cushion-shaped and measures 39 millimeters across. The thickness is about 12.5 millimeters, including the crystal. Lug-to-lug is 46 millimeters, and it has 20 millimeter lugs. On wrist, it wears comfortably. The short lugs help it sit flat, and the proportions work well even on smaller wrists. My wrist is 6 3/4 inches, and it fits just right. Case finishing includes brushed and polished surfaces. The top of the case and lugs are brushed, while the bezel and sides are polished. Crown is signed with Shinola's lightning bolt logo, and winding feels smooth and precise, which matters on hand-wound pieces. There's no crown wobble, and it has a satisfying feel. Inside is the Sellita SW210-1 manual wind movement. It's Swiss-made, beats at 28,800 vibrations per hour, has a 42-hour power reserve, and hacks for precise setting. It's a proven and serviceable movement, also used by brands like Christopher Ward and Ferrer. The movement is displayed through a sapphire caseback. Because the movement is hand-wound, there's no rotor, which gives you an unobstructed view. It's been given a black finish with Shinola's branding across the plates. It's a small touch, but it helps the watch feel a bit more complete. What makes the Mechanic stand out is not just the specs, it's the fact that Shinola is doing more in-house than almost any other brand in the category. Final assembly, timing, pressure testing, and quality control all happen in Detroit. That alone is pretty unusual. On top of that, Shinola produces its leather straps in-house using American leather and a trained staff. The strap on this model is a British tan leather. It pairs well with the steel blue dial. The leather is soft but durable and has a natural finish that breaks in quickly. It uses quick release spring bars and a stainless steel buckle. This strap could easily sell for $100 or more on its own. It has that real leather smell that reminds me of an old baseball glove. And its vintage look fits the watch really well. Shinola's leather studio is located in the same building as its watch assembly line. The straps are cut, stitched, and finished by hand using traditional tools and processes. It's not just marketing spin, it's a functional part of their operation, and it gives the product more integrity. There are still a few limitations to the Mechanic. Water resistance is 50 meters, which is fine for everyday use, but not ideal for swimming. A screw-down crown and 100 meters of water resistance would have been nice, but this is still a practical level for most wearers. The $1,650 price tag may feel high to some collectors familiar with other Sellita-based watches, but most of those brands are doing final assembly overseas and outsourcing their straps. Shinola is not. They are running a full production line in the US, and that adds some value. In terms of wearability, the Mechanic is versatile. The neutral color palette and balanced case shape means it works across a range of outfits. The strap dresses it up or down easily. It's comfortable on the wrist and easy to wear all day. Shinola may not have been top of mind for mechanical collectors in the past, but over the last few years, they have steadily refined what they do. The Mechanic is a strong sign of that progress. It's clean, well-proportioned, and thoughtfully built. And it shows that Shinola is capable of more than most people give them credit for. More importantly, it shows what American watchmaking could become. If more of the process is going to come back to the US, it will take brands with scale, trained staff, and actual manufacturing capabilities. Shinola already has those. To me, the hope is that the Mechanic is not a one-off, but the beginning of a longer push toward doing more in-house. Cases, dials, movements, maybe even full calibers someday. If any brand in the US is positioned to get there, Shinola is. So yes, the Shinola Mechanic in steel blue is a well-made hand-wound watch, but it is also a sign of what is possible. And that makes it a lot more interesting than most watches in its price range. Let me know what you think of the Shinola Mechanic in the comments. Do you see it as a step forward for American watchmaking? And if you've enjoyed this review, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more. Once again, thank you to Shinola for sponsoring this video. If you want to learn more about the Mechanic, make sure to check out the link to their website in the caption. Thanks for watching.